There's a little box a contractor can bolt onto your air conditioner, and depending on who's selling it, it either saves your compressor, saves your power bill, or does absolutely nothing worth the money. And here's the honest part nobody at your kitchen table is going to tell you straight. All three of those things can be true at the same time. It just depends on your house. I'm Hank. 40 years in the trade, most of it out of a service, sitting across from folks just like you trying to figure out if the thing they got quoted was a real fix or a real nice profit margin. So today we're going to talk about the soft starter, what it actually does, when it's worth every dollar, and when a fella is just selling you a box because he read that it's the hot upsell this year. Let me tell you what it is in plain English first. When your air conditioner kicks on, the heart of that whole system is the compressor. That's the pump outside that squeezes the refrigerant and does the real work of moving heat out of your house. And a compressor, at the very instant it starts, is a hog. It gulps a huge slug of electricity for a split second just to get itself spinning. In the trade we call that inrush current. Think of it like pushing a stalled car. Getting it rolling from a dead stop takes everything you've got. Once it's moving, it's easy. Same idea. A soft starter is a little electronic brain that softens that first shove. Instead of the compressor slamming on all at once, it eases the power in, ramps it up smooth over a second or two, lower punch at startup. That's the whole trick. Now here's where you need to keep your wallet in your pocket and your ears open, because this is where the selling starts. The number one honest reason to want one of these, the reason it actually earns its keep, has nothing to do with your electric bill. It's generators. If you live where the power goes out, and you've got a portable generator you'd like to run your air conditioning off of during an outage, that startup hog is your enemy. A lot of ordinary generators simply cannot supply that giant slug of power at the moment the compressor kicks on. They stall, they trip, the air conditioner never starts. Put a soft starter on, and you shrink that startup demand way down. Field numbers I've seen run somewhere in the range of a 50 to 70% reduction in that startup surge, and I want to be careful with you. That's a range depending on your unit, not a promise stamped on your house. But the point holds. Knock that startup demand down, and all of a sudden a modest generator you already own can run the whole system. Without it, you'd be shopping for a much bigger, much more expensive generator to handle that one nasty split second, so the soft starter can save you from buying a machine 2 sizes up. That is a real honest reason. If you're a generator household, this is the strongest case there is. So there's your first rehook. Write this down. The soft starter isn't really an air conditioner upgrade. It's a generator upgrade wearing an air conditioner costume. Now let's talk about the second thing they'll tell you, and this one's true but oversold. Compressor life. Every time that compressor slams on hard, that big slug of current is a little jolt of heat, strain on the windings. It's like starting a cold engine and flooring it. Do it a few times, no harm. Do it 10,000 times over the years, and yeah, wear adds up. Soften every one of those starts, and you are genuinely being gentler on the most expensive part of your whole system. And here's why that matters, because I've delivered this bad news at more kitchen tables than I can count. When a compressor dies, that is not a cheap little part. That is one of the precious words a technician can say to you, and it's absolutely not a job you do yourself. That's a licensed pro, refrigerant handling, real money. So does the soft starter extend compressor life? Over the whole life of the system, easing every start can help. But I will not sit here and hand you a number of extra years, because nobody honestly can. Anybody who quotes you an exact figure is guessing and dressing it up as science. Frame it right in your head. It's protection potential over time, not a warranty. Third thing on the sales sheet, they'll call it a surge protector, sort of. Some of these units are built to take the hit if there's an electrical surge and act as what we call a sacrificial part. meaning it'd rather die itself than let the surge march on into your compressor. That's a nice feature. It is not the reason to buy one, and if a fella leads with that, he's reaching. Fourth, the diagnostics. The newer ones talk to an app on your phone over Bluetooth and they'll flag things. A stalled start, an overload, odd current, a wiring problem inside the unit. Now that's genuinely handy, I'll give it that. But be honest with yourself about whether you're the kind of person who's going to sit and read compressor data on your phone, or whether you just want cold air and quiet nights. For most folks, that app is a feature you'll poke at twice and never open again. Don't pay a premium for a gadget you won't use. All right, let me give you the two symptoms where a soft starter really does fix a real annoying problem. This is the part worth leaning in for. The first one, your lights dim or flicker every single time the air conditioner kicks on. That flicker is that startup hog I told you about, yanking so much power for a half second that your whole house feels it. Soften the start, and that flicker very often just goes away. The second one, that loud clunk or heavy thunk outside when the unit starts, the one that in a quiet house at 2 in the morning can just about wake you up. That's the hard slam of the compressor jolting to life. Ease it in gentle, and a lot of that noise settles right down. If either of those is happening at your house, a soft starter isn't an upsell, it's the actual answer. And that's worth knowing before somebody talks you into replacing a whole unit that isn't broken, it's just starting rough. Now here's the honest broker part. When is it oversold? If you're on solid, steady city power, you never lose electricity, you don't own a generator, your lights don't flicker, and your unit starts quiet, then a soft starter is a nice to have, not a need to have. It will not lower your monthly bill in any way you'd ever notice on paper. Running the air conditioner costs the same. It only softens that one instant of startup. Anyone promising you fat monthly savings from this box is selling you a story. Say each thing once, so hear me clearly. This does not cut your cooling bill. Don't buy it for that. Let me give you a way to picture the proof, because this is the kind of thing I'd show you if I were standing in your driveway. A technician can put a meter on the compressor wire and read that startup surge. On a lot of homes, that inrush number at the moment of start is enormous. We're talking a reading that dwarfs what the unit pulls while it's just humming along. Put the soft starter on, take the reading again, and that startup number drops down to a fraction of what it was. That's not marketing. That's a meter, if you're seriously considering one, that before and after reading is exactly what you should ask a real technician to show you. If he can't or won't measure it, he's guessing too. Now, a few straight words on doing this. I am not going to walk you through installing one, and I want you to understand why, because it's the same reason I'd tell my own brother to keep his hands out of there. That box wires into the guts of your outdoor unit right next to the capacitor. The capacitor is a part that stores electrical charge, and it can hold that charge even after the power's off. That stored charge can hurt you badly. This is genuine kill-you territory, not me being dramatic. Refrigerant lines, live electrical, all of it packed in a small metal box. So this is an advisory, not a how-to. If you want one, this is a licensed pro's job. What you can do yourself, safely, is the homework that keeps you from getting fleeced. Know your unit size because the soft starter has to match it. Air conditioners are rated in tons, and 1 ton is 12,000 British thermal units, which is just a measure of cooling. Go look at the label on your outdoor unit. Buried in that long model number, there's usually a giveaway, a 2-digit number like 24, 36, 48, or 60. That's the thousands of British thermal units. Take 48, divide by 12, you've got a 4-ton unit. 60 divided by 12, a 5-ton. Now, when a salesman talks size, you already know your own number, and you can't be bluffed. And before anybody opens that unit, the rule that's kept me alive 40 years. Shut the power off at the disconnect box first. That's the little box on the wall right by the unit. Power off always before a panel ever comes off. So here's where we land. The soft starter is not a scam, and it is not a miracle. It's a real honest device that shines in one clear situation and gets oversold in all the others. If you run on a generator, if your lights flicker, if your startup clunk wakes the house, it may be one of the smarter small dollars you spend, and it may be gentle on that pricey compressor for years to come. If none of that's you, smile, say no thank you, and keep your money. So do this. Tonight, when the air conditioner kicks on, stand in the kitchen and watch your lights. Listen for the clunk outside. Your house will tell you in about 2 seconds whether you need this box or not. You don't need a salesman for that. You just needed somebody to tell you what to look for. Folks kept asking me to put all of this in one place, so I wrote a little guide, just everything I'd tell my own neighbor across the fence. It's at hanksheetguide.com, links in the description and pinned at the top. No pressure at all. The channel stays free. I'm Hank. Go check your filter.